Hi, my name is Dave Brand. I'm a professor at Towson University. I mainly teach entrepreneurship and business strategy classes. Today I'm going to talk to you about inventory management. So inventory management is necessary, and inventory is necessary for most businesses. So you can think about the different types of inventory that are carried. If you're a restaurant, you have all the supplies to cook and prepare the meals that your customers are going to purchase from you. If you're a salon, you need shampoo. So there's lots of different types of inventory and different supplies that are used by your business on a daily basis. So the issue is that inventory costs money. So you're buying things and waiting for them to be used. So we're going to talk about inventory management in terms of three areas: the buying process, the ordering process, and the storing process. And we're going to start with the ordering process. So the ordering really deals with when you have to order supplies to restock your inventory. So it's important to consider the different things that you have in your inventory and identify things that are very critical for you to maintain your business. So what is the impact of running out? If you're a restaurant, and let's say you're a steakhouse, it's just unacceptable for you to run out of certain types of steaks because customers expect you to have those whenever they come to your business. So what's the impact of you actually running out of something? So then it allows you to identify the critical items for you to track for your inventory management process. The next part then, how quickly are you using those items? If you're a bakery, you have an idea of how much flour you use every day. So that gives you an idea of the consumption of the inventory and the amount that you're using. You then combine this with how long it actually takes you to get supplies to restock your inventory. So if you're using a certain amount each day and you know that you can get restocks very quickly, that may not be such an issue. But if restocking an order from when you order takes weeks for you to actually receive new supplies, you have to take that into account and carry more in your inventory to cover the delivery time for when you place your order. So you're trying to develop the optimum level of inventory, and that's based upon both these aspects of how much you use and how long it actually takes you to get resupplied and rebuild your inventory. The next is managing your existing inventory. So how do you know how much you actually have in inventory? And this is done in different ways. You can have a very sophisticated point of sale system where you have basically tracking every time you sell something or use something. It removes the count from your inventory so that you have a pretty good idea on a minute-to-minute basis what you have in inventory. Not everyone has invested in this type of system, and it may not be critical for what it is that you do for your business. You may have basically a stock room where you keep a physical check every so often to see how often you need to reorder things. So it's important for you to keep track of this because these are assets for your business and they're valuable. So every once in a while you still just need to do a physical inventory to keep track of what's actually in your inventory. Is it different than what you believed was there? And if it is different, why is it different? Are things being stolen from people, or is there damage to items that you're unaware of? You need to keep track of this so that you are properly managing this critical asset and something that's very expensive for your business to carry. The last portion is actually storing your inventory, and this is also part of inventory management that can be critical depending upon what it is that you're selling. Is it something that takes up a lot of space? Do you have to have a warehouse for your inventory? This is expensive, so how much space is needed is going to be something you're going to have to take into consideration as far as your expenses. And the condition in which things are stored also may be highly relevant. Is the inventory impacted by changes in temperature, moisture, those types of things? What happens if there are pest issues? And you must have pest control done to your inventory for your warehouse areas. So think about these things are critical for how you actually store the inventory, and this is relevant also for the turnover of the inventory. So if you have inventory that is got a shelf life and it is going to expire or degrade in quality over time, You need to keep track of this in a different way as opposed to something that can be stored indefinitely. And this gets to what we call LIFO and FIFO. It's easy to understand in terms of how the grocery store does things. Think about the milk refrigerator in your grocery store. How is it that you access it and how is it stocked? Most of them have a two-sided refrigerator that it's stocked on one side and the customer takes things from the other side. And this is so that you can do FIFO, first in, first out, so that the milk that is stocked first is pushed forward for the customer to take, and they're the first ones that are bought. That's critical because milk has an expiration date, and you want to make sure that you push and get all of the milk sold from the grocery store. There are other items. Let's take Home Depot, and say Home Depot is selling air conditioner units. They can be stacked and stored, and supposedly they're all the same. So it doesn't matter if the customer is purchasing the one that's on top or the one that was actually stocked first, because it's basically the same type of product and there's no expiration for that particular product. So these are important for you to maintain your inventory and manage it in a proper way. I hope this information's helped in some way. Have a good day.